Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here representing my country, India, and more specifically my state, the youngest state in India today, Telangana. Let me start first by mentioning a bit about my state. We are the newest state, as I've just mentioned, the 29th state in India, which has come into being about 2 years ago. I'm proud to share with you that within a short span of these 2 years, the state has made rapid strides of progress in economic and infrastructure growth, and is growing today at more than 16%, which is almost double the rate at which India is growing. Under our new industrial policy, which makes time-bound clearances within 15 days a right for the investor, has set new benchmark in transparency and efficiency. And we have till date, in the last 12 months, accorded more than 2,500 clearances, and more than half of these units that we've issued clearances to are in commercial production stage. I may add that you as an investing company need not seek a clearance if you would like to do business in Telangana. We allow for what is called self-certification. You can come hit the ground running in Telangana. Obviously, for regulatory purposes, you'll need to apply through an online application form. And when we receive your application online, we take 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, to process your application. Now, for those of you who are thinking, we've heard this before, single windows, time-bound clearances, how is Telangana any different? We are different. In fact, if we don't deliver on the promise of 2 weeks and clearances in 2 weeks, 3 things happen. One, on the 16th day after receiving your application, if you don't hear back from us, it's a deemed approval. It's an approval by default. Second thing that happens is, as a state, if we don't deliver on the 15-day promise, we are liable for penal action. You can sue us. And the third thing that happens is, our bureaucrats who are responsible for clearances, if they don't deliver on the promise, even they are liable for a penalty of rupees 1,000 per day. I shared this with KPMG Global Chairman, John Y. Meyer, 2015, May, when I was here. I told him no other state in India offers this. He looked at me, he smiled, and he said, no other state in the United States also offers you this. So you might as well say, this is one of the best policies in the world. It is thus no surprise that when World Bank was ranking Indian states on the Ease of Doing Business Index, we have been consistently ranked as the #1 state, and our capital city of Hyderabad is ranked as the best city with the best quality of living by Mercer. The city today is home to 4 of the top 5 most valued tech companies in the world. That would include Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook. And if you also include the top 10, we also have Amazon, which has its largest base outside of the United States in Hyderabad. Now, these companies, these organizations have moved to Telangana and have set up their largest base for one simple reason. India today offers high-quality human resources at a fairly inexpensive price. We realize the importance of the skills and reaping the benefits of the demographic dividends. To put it in perspective, India today has one of the youngest populations in the world, with more than 54% of the population below the age of 25, and an estimated 62% being in the working age group of 15 to 59 years. More importantly, we not only have a huge advantage of demographics and the adolescent youth bulge, we also have the required intellectual capital, ready availability of readily employable workforce with more than 400 engineering and academic colleges dealing in biomedical, life sciences, and related fields in Telangana. Now, coming to the medical devices and equipment manufacturing and the scope and challenges India offers. With high quality and low cost talent pool, rapidly growing economy, and also with a huge domestic market, there can be no better destination for medical devices industry than India. You may already know that the 1.3 billion Indian market is dependent of medtech imports. Today we import more than 80% of our medical devices. As Omar Ishraq, the CEO of Medtronics, pointed out, the gap between the existing demographics and eligible entitlement and where we actually are today in India is huge and provides a huge untapped market. Let me also specifically now talk about medical devices sector and the opportunities and concerns in India and how we, the state of Telangana, offer a way out and also make it an attractive destination as anywhere else in the world. Medical device industry globally, as you all know, is around $200 billion worth. In India, the medical devices sector is pegged currently at about 6.3 billion, which is quite small compared to the global business, but rapidly growing. The compounded annual growth rates that you see in India today at the rate of 15%, according to Medical Technology Vision 2025, the report of CII and BCG, India is yet to advance in the field of market opportunity and create a hub for innovation and development in this sector. Currently, more than 70% of devices are imported. As per reports, this sector has the potential to reach $50 billion by 2025. It is recognized that the healthcare needs and challenges for various markets are not the same, and hence the only solution is indigenization. My friend Gary Pruden, who just introduced me, had already mentioned to me yesterday that Johnson & Johnson is constantly looking at scouting for new innovative solutions, and I'm sure this is the case with many others who are participating here too. Now, what do we offer? I've had excellent interactions over the last one day with several of the industry leaders. Now, regulatory mechanism in India, there are a series of measures taken by our government and regulators to give the country's medical device sector a complete transformation. Traditionally, the devices have been regulated in India as under Drugs and Cosmetics Act. However, a medical devices bill will be brought out in the next 3 to 4 months. A timeline is set by the country's leadership to promote and regulate medical devices industry. This, I think, is a very important step forward. This medical devices bill attempts to address issues in policy support, infrastructure, validation center, skill development, R&D, pricing policy, more importantly, duty structure, and regulatory framework. Already the government of India has allowed 100% foreign direct investment in the field of medical devices. The regulatory body in India is also going through a transformation in terms of increased capacity, time-bound and more transparent clearances. We will take it up with the federal government as a state with all sincerity, after having heard from all of you yesterday and day before with the kind of issues that you have in this industry. In terms of pricing, the recent extension of price control to the devices industry and fixed duty structure is a cause of concern, is what I've learned. We understand the anxiety of the industry and realize that the uncertainty in pricing will not only delay some of you coming to set up manufacturing base in India, but will ultimately lead to continued shortage of med devices in the country. Therefore, what I would like to assure all of you is that as a state government, we will take up your cause and we will be an advocate for the medical devices industry in India with the government of India. Now, with respect to IP-related issues, patents are rather inseparable attendant of innovation and innovative products. There have been issues with patents, but India has introduced recently, Government of India has introduced its IPR policy of 2015, and I assure you, we are the first state in the country, in India, to have introduced an intellectual property crime unit, which not only enforces, but takes IP as a very, very serious challenge. The ease of doing business, as I've mentioned, we've been consistently ranked as one of the top states, and today we are the #1 state in India. I would dare to say that we as a state stand in competition with some of the best promising destinations across the world. The tax structure in India is also being eased out. With GST coming in, today India has one tax for the entire country. I wish to reiterate that we have one of the best healthcare infrastructures in the country, and the state has identified medical devices as a strategic sector for the growth. Hence, we are developing a medical devices park in about 250 acres as phase 1, and in about 1,000 acres in phase 2, which is first of its kind in India. And I invite you all to come visit us and learn more about the opportunity that we offer. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite us to pay a visit in Hyderabad. End of the day, seeing is believing. It's our personal commitment to make things work, and I'd like to thank AdvaMed for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you all for being so patient so early in the morning. Thank you very much.